Central government announced new rules and regulations for exports, imports and trade of exotic animals and birds. EXOTIC. What do you mean by exotic? The animals or birds which are imported or exported and which are not local in nature. That means the birds or animals which are from outside, they are called exotic. The central government issued new rules with respect to these exotic animals and birds, and everyone who possesses or owns an exotic bird or an animal should register with Chief Wildlife Warden in their respective state. Every state will have a Chief Wildlife Warden and it will be registered. This should be registered whenever you own or possess any exotic animal, it should be registered. The most important point is Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change, Wildlife Division has introduced new rules in this respect. MOEFCC, new Wildlife Division, there is already division, this division have given new version, new rules of that. And currently, Directorate General of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Commerce is regulating this particular international trade of exotic animals. Directorate General of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Commerce. And officials of the Wildlife Department will visit the houses or places where these exotic animals are kept. They will also maintain the inventory of it, list of it. They will maintain the inventory, a list of it, and they will visit the houses or other places where these exotic animals or birds are kept, and also they will see whether the conditions are healthy or not, whether the conditions are hygienic, livable or not. So, from now on, it is not so easy to possess an exotic bird or an animal. You need to follow many regulations. In India, exotic live species will mean animals named under appendices 1, 2 and 3 of CITES. What is this CITES? Whenever you are reading about exotic animals, imports and exports, you should know CITES, Convention on International Trade on Endangered Species, Wild Flora and Fauna. CITES is an international convention, CITES. You should know SPICE. India, exotic animals will not include species from the schedules of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. This is important. According to recent World Wildlife Crime Report, which was released by UN, criminals are illegally trading products derived from around 7,000 species in the world. So remember, according to World Wildlife Crime Report released by UN, criminals are illegally trading products derived from over 7,000 species of wild animals and plants across the globe. This was pathetic. There is a lot of illegal trade. And recently, FATF, you all know, FATF means Financial Action Task Force. Generally, FATF will not involve in wildlife trafficking, trade, all these things. But FATF have released a report, Global Threat Report. FATF have released a Global Threat Report. In its first report, in its first of its kind report on illegal wildlife trade, FATF, Financial Action Task Force, described wildlife trafficking as a global threat. It described wildlife trafficking as a global threat, and it was as good as slavery, arms trade and other things. It is equal to slavery, arms trade and other things. And the illegal wildlife trade, can you estimate the illegal wildlife trade revenue? $23 billion. Illegal wildlife trade per annum is $23 billion. And in India, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau is the organization which will supervise all these things and regulate these things. Particularly, it will try to minimize the wildlife crimes. So, in India, we have WCCB, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. We should also read about Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. And what do you mean by exotic? Exotic refers to the species which is not native or indigenous to the particular locality. Exotic refers to the species which is not native or indigenous to the particular locality.